we're live.
We're live.
Yeah, we're just commenting on. We're learning as we're going. We're gonna learn this Facebook Live thing right before we stop doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. We'll be experts, and then we'll be like, okay, we're no longer on
and then
Facebook
we're like,
Live.
we're using a different platform now.
Yeah,
So this is our podcast installment week 2. So
yes, episode number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or pilot number 2, co-pilot.
Or just, we don't know what we're doing, number 2.
Do pilot.
Yeah.
No, we know what we're doing. And what we're doing is we're allowing you to watch us develop the project.
Yes, that's true.
And that
just like a baby being birthed.
That is engaging. And that is reality. And that is what the people want, you know? And too low FPS.
I don't know what that means.
I don't think.
Can I just close it?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think we're still live.
Yeah.
We'll just pretend it's okay.
Right.
If it turns out to be a flop, it's fine.
Okay. So let's start with. Last week we had asked people about a title. We've kicked around a few. We've come up with some. We kind of like Disturbed Oasis, because we have our website is called Halifax Oasis. Oh, here's the time to show you. Since we can't do split screen and we don't have fancy equipment yet to do cool things like remotes and whatnot, but for now, it's old school.
Yeah.
So this is the name of the website.
It's called Hold It Closer.
Hold It Closer?
Yeah.
Well, I got to see. There we go. Perfect.
Do you? I can see. It looks great.
It's crooked. Halifax Oasis, FACTS, Halifax Oasis, all one word, .com. Ooh, what happened to the light? It went dim.
You need to pull the thing back.
Back?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you'll see in the bottom right-hand corner, which way? This way. A chat box thing, and you can send us messages that way. It'll go straight to my email. And we'll have an email later when we're more developed and whatnot. And the website is nothing but a skeleton. There's not a lot on it. Mm-hmm. But mainly, we want to give you this information so that you can communicate with us, because we want your ideas. We want people to volunteer for interviews. I have asked people to do that, but I'm not getting much feedback on it.
Do you have something to say? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. About names or interviews or what you want to hear. Exactly.
News tips, stuff that's happening that's within our beat.
That would be even better.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, and our beat is, generally speaking, we're committed to social and economic justice in a place where very few people are.
Or they're just not vocal about it, or they don't have a platform.
That part. I mean, that's we're going to be that platform. We're the oasis for people who are disturbed by what we see.
Yes.
How about that?
That's a good way of putting it. So, we had 600 views last time.
Thank you.
Close to it. Yeah, that was pretty
cool.
cool.
Thank you for paying attention.
A lot
That's
of people
pretty cool.
watched. Yeah, and like I said, we hope in the future to be doing, especially when we expand, what platforms are we going to be using?
Well, I think we're going to be on YouTube for sure. We haven't listed it yet, but I should have said we might want to do Podbean for like the audio people, the audio only people.
Yeah.
I think we should be on Rumble because it's very free speech and it's a place where it has been conservative slanted for the past few years, but more,
I've never heard of it.
But more liberals are migrating there who get censored. It's still free speech, and the window of opportunity of these platforms saying free speech, I think, always has a time limit, because the more commercial these platforms get, the less you see them committed to free speech. So, but for now, Rumble is probably the biggest platform that has an explicit policy of not censoring content.
Why have I never heard of it? Oh wait,
because you're in that liberal bubble we keep talking about.
Whatever. So, are you saying I could go on there and say any racist, misogynist, hateful, whatever thing, and I'm cool?
Yeah, and you could also.
I don't like that.
Well, you could also say, well, I mean, they do shadow ban, like they do reduce engagement for anti-Semitism, because the same people on Rumble on everything else, right? But there is that. But you can say whatever on Rumble still, but there are other messages that are not about racism and misogyny that have been censored in recent years.
Can I yell fire in a crowded firehouse?
You can yell fire on Rumble. Yeah.
Other platforms.
You could try that on TikTok. Let's see what happens.
Dude, I don't know TikTok.
Well, we're gonna have to do TikTok at some point.
Well, he's in charge of this techie part of it. This is why it's taking me forever to do this.
Okay. Well, I still have to learn TikTok, but I'll get there eventually.
But they're just little blurbs. They're not.
Well, let me, before we forget to say this part, what do you guys think about our working title? Our working title for the podcast is Disturbed Oasis.
Yeah.
It kind of blended stuff. Like, she brought the Oasis, I brought the Disturbed, and so it seems like it's a meeting in the middle thing, and it just clicks for both of us. We both like the way it sounds, and you like the acronym thing.
Do, D-O, do.
And then do
it.
something.
Do
And then
something.
do something. Do
My
anything.
God, people yammer all day long, but they don't
Do something.
nothing.
People just love to bitch. Wait, can I curse? What did we decide on that?
Well, we're still being mild.
Mild. No F-bombs. No F-bombs.
I was going to tell you.
B-I-T-C-H.
I think we need a section that's called "What the Heck."
Well, how about
But now we'll say what the
we
hell.
get more nasty for our Patreon only?
Okay, you're still talking platforms.
So yeah, so we're gonna be more mild to the extent that we're capable of being. Are we capable of being mild?
Yes, we can have professional faces like everybody else in this county.
I struggle with that.
It is difficult. It's difficult for me.
I think that. But we could get real raw behind the Patreon, and people want to see the raw anyway, because raw is raw.
Well, regardless, we're going to be authentic.
Yeah, we'll be authentic, but we might be a little more authentic.
Yeah.
Actually, how about this? Like, Patreon is when we're like 3 beers in, you know.
That's a good way of putting it.
Or whatever.
But it's like if I've got some church lady on here, I don't want her to not listen because of just specific verbiage I use.
We want all the church ladies. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that, but you know.
I do. I want us all to come together. I'm very optimistic.
True. Building bridges.
Building bridges.
Yes.
There's no
like that
because
too.
that's the winning formula.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
We need populist left and the populist right to run everything, and then we can just hash out the details of the structure of society. You know.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. You know. But
Complete what platforms we're looking at.
well, yeah, Patreon's probably going to be the paywall, and then you're interested in Substack, but I don't know. I mean,
I love Substack.
Are we just going to post our podcast to Substack, or is
You
it the other
just
stuff?
you do like a master thing, and then
Yeah.
you just it's
Put
like
it everywhere.
it's like selling on different platforms.
Yeah.
I use Poshmark mainly, but I
Yeah.
can just copy and throw it on eBay or Depop or Mercari or whatever.
Yeah, and
Same
then
thing.
later on, this is not an announcement, but later on we might do TikTok just for clips, you know.
Yeah. That's a good
for
idea.
marketing, because the algorithms of TikTok are fire. Like
So-
that's a good way to get a big audience.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
right now we're just using Facebook Live to kind of get a groove.
Well,
Figure it out.
we're setting our pattern. You know, I'm getting accustomed to the idea that I have to be somewhere Wednesday evenings after working all day Wednesday, you know, I'm gonna have to adjust my caffeine addiction accordingly because I need to bump it this time of night now.
Well, and I meant to tell you,
Yeah.
next week I think I have to close, so I may not be able to do it till like 9:30.
Well, we'll figure that
We'll
out.
figure it out.
We
We'll figure it out.
will figure that out.
Well, we're not set on Wednesdays. This is just what happened to happen.
We could also pre-record and then stream it on Wednesday.
That's true too.
Yeah.
But I like the spontaneity of live, especially if
I
you
do
get
too.
comments and interactions.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the agenda for tonight, we're going to start with national things. We're going to talk about troops in D.C., the museum situation in D.C., and the second thing we want to talk about is potential issues with mail-in voting. We're
Right.
not going to do things on a state level. We're going to go straight to local. And the big thing we want to talk about is the Rosa Parks incident.
Yes.
There's been a lot of chatter on
That's
Facebook
local.
about things happening, and
Yes.
apparently something like that happened here.
Yeah.
Not only do we want to talk about it, but we want to invite the players in. So,
Yeah.
So before we go into any of that any further, you want to kick us off, Sean?
Kick us off. Well,
Kick us off.
we're more so kicking off with your pet story, but no, I just want to say at a later time I want to expound upon what we can do together in a community building way. What I mean by building bridges, and what I think that we can do together. And we can build bridges across this political divide, but there's also needs to be some building of bridges across, like, let's say, the power or the class divide too. And that,
Absolutely.
and that there are ways to do it. And what I would like to say is that, yes, I'm going to get sort of like pointed in my language from time to time, and I'm not backing down from anything that I'm ever going to say, but let me phrase it to you this way. I don't see people, human beings, as enemies, so I want to make that very clear. I want a world in which we are not thinking in terms of vanquishing people who've done bad things or things that maybe they didn't know were bad when they did them. I want a world in which we struggle together to correct the problems without otherizing or alienating everyone.
But you have to have boundaries, like
Of course.
like pedophiles.
Oh, pedophiles have to be in prison. Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about like like petty corruption, like embezzlement, things like that. But like certain things can be forgiven because that's the real stronghold. We found out with Save the Backs movement 3 years ago. The real where people close ranks is where people know they took the cash. And that's what we came up against. People don't want to talk because they took the cash. So.
And remember, last week we talked about purpose-driven versus ego-driven. It's
Of course.
dropping ego-driven.
So drop the ego. Look, some people who are in the oppressed classes and who know it. I mean, I think upper middle class people are oppressed too. I think there's a bracket of the elites that see all of us as expendable, and so a lot of these upper middle class people and lower upper class people even need to realign themselves class-wise and recognize that the people above them in the pecking order don't care about them. And that their lot is better cast with the rest of us, so there's that kind of thing. But for that to happen, there has to be an invitation. And so we can't just, here locally, for example, like we can't just like have this revenge mindset. We can't want to just punish people who've done things that have caused harm, and because that will shut down the potential for this to happen in a peaceable way.
We need to make love cool again. I just said that earlier. I've even made a logo. Love is cool.
Yeah, and then forgiveness, and we can correct the problems without having to do fire and fury and try to like take people to the hole. Like, 21st century activism does not have to be what it was before, because I mean we're all here together. And now, and I think more people from those upper middle class ranks know that we're all in it together now, because they know that some of the things that have been happening in recent years have been happening to them as well. And so, this is what I would like to say. I come in peace. I'm not gonna hold my tongue back. Like some things are really effed. Some things are really effed. This is unnatural for me. This is unnatural for me. but that's what, I've been an activist for 23 years, and I've had a lot of time to think about this. This is the strategically correct move, and we should draw our inspiration from the greats. We should draw our inspiration from the peaceniks of the past, like Dr. King, like civil disobedience, emphasis on the civil. Like we do have the moral upper hand, and we should behave like we know it, and we behave in such a way that everyone else will know it. So.
Do you think you're oppressed?
Do I think that I'm oppressed?
Yeah.
I think that I think that there are things that are happening in society that are beyond my control that affect me negatively.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, if that's the definition of it, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, but do I walk the world feeling like an oppressed person? Not really. So, but okay, but so we got our topics. Are you ready to take on the first topic?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay, so this is about troops in D.C., and I'm just going to read a blurb because we can't do split screen. I can't show you what we're looking at, photos or anything yet, obviously, but this is from...
Google AI summary.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, because it's in the blue box. Yeah.
Oh, I think you're right.
No, it's actually Bing AI summary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Washington, D.C. currently has a significant presence of federal law enforcement, and I really hope you guys are watching this stuff going on, and National Guard troops, primarily for security and support during events like the inauguration. Hang on, that's way gone. Recently, they announced federal law enforcement officers will patrol the streets for a period of 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone on more than that, though. They've
Has
been
it?
there, yes.
Okay.
Over 7,800 National Guard members have been deployed to D.C. See, this is old shit.
Yeah, that's also. See, AI is not perfect.
Right. So,
but we all know what's been happening recently. Is this one right here? The Hill. Trump orders federal law enforcement to patrol D.C.
Yeah,
just
because
put that in
that's the
today.
thing too. You really have to be mindful of your source.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are just nonsense.
Yeah, our preparation process was a little rushed today because we both have had some fires to put out in our lives.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Pause that before the volume comes on. Pause that before.
Oh
no, the volume's muted.
It's muted.
Okay.
But
yeah. So this is from August 7th.
What's today? I don't even know. The 20th?
The 20th. Yeah.
Well,
so
the way things happen, it's still old. So you know what?
That's neo-fascism. It changes every hour.
Should I go back and try to find something more? Actually, no.
No, because we're live and we should just go with what's in front of us.
Well, and it's got the meat of it. If you just read that line there, D.C. is more violent than Baghdad, which is utter nonsense. And oh my God, yeah, that was the thing I read too. Crime is down 30%, and now the regime is saying they've opened a DOJ investigation to see who's manipulating the numbers.
Okay.
Just like they fired the labor numbers guy. Anyway, so
Well,
back.
okay. Well, let's just sort of like get to the point in terms of okay. So
All right, so I don't need to read about announcements and all that.
National Guard is policing DC now. It's been a
Yes.
big thing in the news.
Red states have sent more.
Red states are sending troops. That's right. And I believe what did Muriel Bowser say? Because it sounded like she sort of rolled over, right?
Who's Muriel Bowser?
The mayor of DC. Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
It seemed like she rolled over last I checked, but I could be wrong. I'm more than happy to be fact checked on that.
Well, they took over the DC police, and a judge said no, and then they said they couldn't. So supposedly they're not running the DC police anymore.
Well, so they're just patrolling.
Yeah, but the bottom line is, have you seen there's demonstrations? They're all saying, "Get out of our city, get out of our city."
Yeah.
It's just a big stink over nothing. Do you think it's just another Epstein distraction? Because that's what a lot of people say.
Oh, I think it's a little deeper than that, but I want to know, like, what do you find to be most offensive by the move?
Because, well, first of all, DC doesn't have the rights the state does.
Well,
so
that's true.
That puts them in a more vulnerable position.
Okay.
But why would you send National Guard? He didn't even send them to the insurrection. Why would you send them to DC?
Well, yeah. So, I think it's really common knowledge that he offered the troops for January 6th, but then Congress and the police
2 hours
refused
after
it.
people were killed, sure.
Well, the timeline I don't know, but my understanding is that everyone has admitted that it was.
He
sort of
said
other
that
people
Nancy
refused it.
Pelosi's the one that had the power to send the troops, not him. That's why he
To
didn't initially
accept the
send them,
troops.
or whatever.
Yeah. So.
But we're not getting into January 6th.
Yeah. No.
Why would you have troops in any American city?
Yeah. So, and what does it signal to you? I mean, what do you think? What do you think the end goal is of this?
It's a show of force and a precursor to martial law.
Well, I agree with the show of force part, but you know my opinion. I think we've been in a state of covert martial law since probably at least 2017, if not 2016, and so in my opinion, it's martial law coming out of the closet. So no, seriously.
No, it's just a funny way to put it.
Yeah, it's martial law coming out of the closet. We've been under martial law, and now they're showing it, and the question is, why are they showing it now? And what does that mean? And on the one hand, I'm like, well, the fact that it's becoming explicit, because what's been driving me crazy is that nobody sees it. Like people are taking this thing like literally, like people are taking all this stuff literally. I think we're being governed by a reality show, and the military is just doing whatever behind the scenes.
That I'll agree with.
And I think it's been that way for years now. And like I've told you, I don't think it stopped under Biden. I think they were all in on it. And because everything was still so wonky throughout the Biden years, and everything Biden inherited set us up for what we're going through now, really. And so in my opinion, martial law. So I've been tuned into this conversation about covert martial law for years. There are fringe elements on the right that are talking about this, and I'm not aware of any elements on the left, even fringe elements that are talking about this. But you would think the left would be talking about it more. But there are some people on the right that believe that it's actually going in a good direction, like they trust this concept of being under martial law. And I'm friends with such people, and I listen to them, and I see what they see in terms of like the parts of the movie or the parts of reality that can connect to that. But I just don't have it inside me to trust martial law. And you know what I mean? I think that, to me, the big thing right now is Chapter 11 of the Military Code does make a precedence for this type of activity that's going on now, but it also specifies that they have to return control of the government to the civilian population as soon as possible. To me, it's not about rah, 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 Trump, Trump, Trump. It's like, hey, military, when are we going to get our government back? To me, that's the thing.
What about removing all the homeless people?
Okay, so is this a segue or is this connected?
It's connected. That's part of what the troops are there for.
Well,
They're in there throwing them. They took these poor people who have nothing and threw it all in the dumpster and ran them off.
Well, yeah, I mean, but it's the military doing it. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to sort of confront our military. That's what I'm saying.
Who's we? Who's
All
going
of
to confront
us.
the military?
All of us, the people.
Well, now you're talking Civil War.
No, I'm talking civil disobedience. I'm talking peaceful yeah.
Have you seen what these ICE people say and do to people? Have you seen how they treated the brown people?
Well, are you talking Civil War?
I think that's pretty much what it is. It's
so
just not bloody yet.
Do you think it's unavoidable? I would say it's been bloody, but it's been minimally bloody so far.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think it's been bloody. But in my opinion, and I've been tuned into this for decades. It's been my belief for decades now that part of this divide and conquer thing is that if they can, they're doing to us what they did to the Hutus and the Tutsis in Rwanda.
What's Hootsies and Tootsies?
Rwanda, the genocide Rwanda.
I know about that.
We're living through a global pandemic of genocide campaigns. And what they did in Rwanda, they were one tribe. They were one people before they were separated. But what they did was they created a class. They gave one group more privileges than the other group. They created a bunch of tension between them, and then they got them to fight and kill each other. I think they've been trying to do that in America.
So you think that's what the elites or whomever are trying to do here?
If we kill each other, we save them the trouble. So
but who's going to work in their factories?
The robots. They don't care about our bodies. The robots
can't do everything.
Robots can do everything.
They're promoting having babies and shit if they're white or whatever.
Well, no, they want to be able to grow babies in little incubators.
Oh, this is just gross. This is a gross conversation.
Read Brave New World. Read Brave New World. That you can't. How can you deny that? Like, they're doing everything that 1984 and Brave New World said they would do. We do have flying drones in cities.
I need to read 1984 again. I haven't read it since high school.
Totalitarianism. That's what we're still escalating toward totalitarianism. Some people think it's actually secretly going in a good direction. I see what you people are seeing. I just can't trust it. It's like I just can't bring myself to trust it. When we're in a situation where democracy there's not even a pretense of democracy, we're fucked. I'm sorry. And it's like the only way out of this is critical mass. So I don't want to have polarized conversations. I don't want to talk about we're going to talk about Trump because you want to talk about Trump, and this is a partnership.
I'm just talking about the oppression of DC and why they're doing it. Yeah,
I want to talk about.
I think the people in DC are handling it magnificently.
Well,
they're protesting, they're yelling, they're telling them to get out, carrying on.
Peacefully. Yes, agreed.
Yes,
don't give them a reason to open fire.
Yeah.
Do not give them a reason to open fire. Do not give them a reason to take your rights away.
Yeah, because it'll be Kent State next.
Do it smart and self-police because they're going to use agent provocateurs. They've always used agent provocateurs. They were doing it in the 60s and 70s as well. So they're going to put people in there to try to do criminal activity, and you have to self-police.
But then that's what they accuse the other side of doing. That's what drives me nuts, the gaslighting.
They do it to both sides.
The gaslighting. Oh, my God.
They do it to both sides. Look, COINTELPRO has been declassified. And yes, COINTELPRO was targeted.
What's COINTELPRO?
Where the FBI was infiltrating leftist organizations in the 60s and 70s, and they're doing it on the right as well.
Oh, you're talking about like the Black Panther stuff?
Yes,
okay,
all of that. Yeah, and Gloria Steinem was a CIA operative, okay? They did it all across the board. No, she was openly a CIA operative.
Was she?
Yes! She admitted
Where'd you get that?
She admitted to doing work for the CIA overseas.
I gotta look that
This is open knowledge.
I hadn't heard of it.
This is okay, boomer.
And I'm knowledgeable.
Up your internet game, honey.
Suck it.
Up your internet game.
Sorry, I'm busy planting and putting my hands in the earth and doing real things.
Well, I wish I were doing that. I envy you. You're living life the way it's meant to be lived. I am a robot. I'm a cyborg. I'm a miserable cyborg.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Right.
So, museums.
We're going to move on to museums, or
yes.
There's no more to say about
Well, I don't know. We're 20 minutes in. I'm just trying to keep the pace going.
Well, I'm fine with moving on, but have we said everything that needs to be said about martial law?
Do you need to say more?
I don't know. I felt like you had something else to say.
No, I'm good.
Okay, museums is fine.
I'm just kind of bringing things up, waiting for feedback as well.
We're against martial law.
Yeah.
Bottom line, we're against martial law.
I want it to be more of a community chat, which it will be eventually, but yeah,
if my friends who think that the martial law is going in the right direction are correct, and I'm humble enough to admit that they may be, we should at least get a progress report. Like, when are we going to get our government back? What have you people actually been doing behind this reality shit show? Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, museums. Go.
Right,
take the lead.
Pull up my little thingy here, because I always want to have something to go by.
Yeah.
Where did I do? Where did I do it? That wasn't it. Well, we're done
Close
with
that one out. Yeah.
Was that it? No shit, that was it. Here, DC museum changes, and this is a AI summary.
This is the big AI
this
summary
is
citing
current.
Politico.
It's current. The Smithsonian Institute's undergoing a review of its exhibits to align with the administration's goal of celebrating American exceptionalism and removing divisive narratives. Oh, Jesus, it's hard for me to even read this. This review will focus on 8 museums, including the National Museum of American History, the American Indian, African American and Culture. It's expected to be completed by the beginning of 2026, coinciding with the nation's 250th anniversary. The administration aims to ensure that the museum's public exhibitions, planning, and curator reflect the unity progress, and enduring values that define the American story. Okay. Quote from the top, because it's kind of just all saying how bad our history is. Slavery wasn't that bad. That's what blew me apart, was that quote right there.
I never have seen the quotes. I can't comment on the quote, but you can comment on the quote.
And
okay, yeah. If you can pull it up, that'd be great.
Yep.
But just in general, what do you think that this means? Like functionally speaking,
whitewashing history. Sorry.
Whitewashing history. So how will the museums change? Is it like watered down? Is it literally going to be
They'll close the Holocaust Museum.
You think they're going to close it, or have they said that?
It's too depressing and dire. And we don't want to hear about.
But it makes America look good because we saved.
Not according to them.
It makes America look good because we won the war for them.
Was it?
When that contributed to patriotism.
No, it's oppressed people.
Okay.
Let me see here.
How bad slavery
there it
was.
is.
Okay.
Read it. Read the headline.
Trump 79 tells Smithsonian to stop saying how bad slavery was.
Yeah. How bad slavery was.
Well, that's a sentence fragment. Is there an extended quote? I'm a journalist. I need the details.
Fine.
I need the details.
He's annoyed that the museums say nothing about the future. Says the war on woke is not dead yet. Bizarre screed. What does that mean? Anyway, about museums claiming that Smithsonian's out of control.
A screed is a screamed creed, or in all caps.
Oh, is it?
Creed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Ads.
But I'm surprised.
Like documenting the horse slaves. All right. Museum throughout all over the country. Last remaining segment of the museums are the last segment of woke. He wrote on Truth Central. He said that one time. Everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden had been. Nothing about success. No. Nothing about brightness. Nothing about the future. Trump 79 has vowed to rid museums of the woke claims he infests them. He claims infests them. In doing so, he pushed more vital issues of the day. Brokering a whatever. Releasing Epstein files. That ain't happening. I've instructed to go
let's
through.
Just read this.
What?
Is this where it says it? Is this where it has the slavery quote? Okay, the museum.
Yes, right there. Right fucking.
Okay, I'm going to read this part, okay?
Right there.
The museums throughout Washington, but all over the country, are essentially the last remaining segment of woke. The Smithsonian is out of control, where everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. Nothing about success, nothing about brightness, nothing about the future. We are not going to allow this to happen, and I have instructed my attorneys to go through the museums and start the exact same process that has been done with colleges and universities, where tremendous progress has been made. This country cannot be woke because woke is broke. We have the hottest country in the world, and we want people to talk about it, including our museum. Oh, so basically the museums are to cheerlead us.
And whitewash history.
And whitewash history. So what is that? So they're going to distort reality.
Yes, this is exactly what Mao Zedong did in China.
Well, yeah, I know that. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like wiping history is part of part of the process.
Yes.
Okay, so in other words, it's going to be, and I would opine that the Smithsonian has kind of always been doing that.
Oh, you used opine. I love that word.
I think they've always been sort of like curating and sort of, representing history in certain ways. And so what we may be really talking about is sort of a reversal of sort of recent progress and diversifying those narratives.
Yes.
And I personally, I stopped going to, I used to go to DC all the time. I stopped going to DC, like, I guess pre-pandemic, and so I never have been to the African American Museum, which is a real shame because I majored in Black Studies, in college. So I am deeply studying in a lot of the things that I'm sure are represented there. But I have been to the Native American Museum, Smithsonian, and I have to say it's my favorite. It's a fantastic, and the cafeteria is fantastic, and it really is.
Have you gone to the American Indian cafeteria?
What, in the Smithsonian?
Yeah. What is it in the Smithsonian? It's somewhere there.
The one with the blue cornbread.
I can't
the blue
remember,
cornbread.
But they had buffalo burgers.
Yes. And I did not get a buffalo burger. I got something.
We did. We tried.
I think I got something vegetarian. But of course. What does that mean? What does that mean? I'd be eating meat.
Means nothing.
I'd be eating steak. Come on now. But okay. So whitewashing history is the concept. is this more so like, this is more so a distraction issue to me. Like, how serious is this, and what's actually going to happen, and is there anything going to happen that cannot be immediately reversed in the next administration? You know?
That's going to be a challenge, because it's like somebody burning your house down and saying, we will rebuild. It'll never be the same.
Are the museums pushing a narrative, in your opinion?
The museums?
Yeah. That's what he's asserting.
I think that they're evolving. They've gotten things wrong in the past, and they try. It's exactly what you just said before.
Do you think they're trying to overblow certain things in a like cultural Marxist vein?
Like saying that slavery really wasn't that bad? Absolutely not.
Okay. Well. All right. Okay. That was disjointed. Okay. So saying this, like, no, I agree. Slavery was bad. Slavery was bad.
It was more than bad.
And it should be said that slavery
It was
bad.
more than bad.
Well, and we have forms of slavery today too, and those forms of slavery are bad too.
There's no words for what these people went through.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I can recommend a good movie, Amistad. Have you ever seen that?
Yes, I have.
That just broke my heart.
Yeah, about the Middle Passage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
Yes, I actually did an independent study on the Middle Passage.
Oh yeah, that's right. You said you did like history studies. Okay.
Yeah, well, Black studies in general. It was
Right.
interdisciplinary. Yeah, I mean, in general, I am against censoring history in any type of way. Like, I think even if everything's gonna be made by people who have opinions. Like that's the thing. So like, there will be sort of like agendas that are perceivable, because everything's going to be made by people who have opinions that are going to be curating things and presenting things in a certain way. I am not somebody who feels to cape for the Smithsonian's, because like I said, their long extended history has been questionable at best. But what I would say is that this is a culture war move. And in general, culture war moves are about dividing from each other, and about not getting down to the brass tacks of what really matters in politics. What really ever matters in politics is who is allowed to legally die, and who is allowed to legally kill and be killed. Necropolitics, who's dying at the face of police violence, who's dying at the hands of the military-industrial complex, and then how are material resources distributed, so like wealth and land and things like that. So those are the only things that ever matter. And anytime that these people are getting us to talk about something else, in my opinion, they're trying to distract us.
I have to marinate on that.
Marinate! Because culture wars, I would like to see a culture war détente. I'm happy with more self-determination at the state level on all these culture war issues. If we could just stop talking about them at the national level. Because at the national level, we should always be talking about how is our military being used, and how are material resources distributed. Those are the things that really actually matter.
And that's pretty succinct. And we've gone from too much government, not enough government, back to too much government, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's never been streamed like that because it's a moneymaker. I mean,
exactly.
God, do you know how much these
It's a
politicians make? Do you know the
It's all
benefits these
scams.
people get?
Yes.
God.
It's all about looting, And so like that's what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
looting.
It's all
That's a
about
good
looting,
word.
and it's all about looting, and if
We're
talking,
all being looted.
last week I flippantly referred to the transgender bathroom thing. Let's just talk about transgender bathroom and museums for the next decade. It's a museum. It's a luxury. It's a leisure activity. Like, let's talk about the brass tacks of who is allowed to legally kill and be killed in this
But that's
country
the
and
federal
internationally.
government, not us.
And then let's talk about how are material wealth and resources distributed. And now are going to have to talk about digital resources within that as well, because of the parasitism of this whole AI thing. And the internet was
Parasitism.
Yeah.
Another good word.
I'm
You get a
educated,
You
Lisa.
get a vocabulary
Girl, I'm
plus mark
educated.
tonight.
I'm a writer.
Check.
I'm a world-class writer. Of course, I have that vocabulary. Okay. So your thoughts to all that? Distractioneering.
I'm just thinking about mailing and voting.
Okay, well, you ready to move on? Okay, Lisa wants to move on to the next topic. Okay,
Well,
so
you just
that's
sat there and
understandable.
tell me the only thing that matters is who gets killed and who gets distributed wealth to.
Well, when it comes to culture war issues, but I mean, it's not that this doesn't.
You were saying on a federal level,
Mhm.
but we're not a federal level. We can talk about anything we want.
Well, I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
So you want to move on, or do you have anything else to say about museums?
No. I just wanted to bring it up because I
Yeah.
just think it's awful.
Well, yeah. I mean,
and I saw the
I dislike this.
I saw the later generational results of it when I lived in China.
Yeah.
You know, when they stripped all the history, and it was so rare to find an old temple or something because it was all destroyed.
Let's not strip history on either side, and let's remind the right that they were the ones talking about stripping history, and they were citing Mao as well, and doing those conversations about like Confederate statues, and then certain founding fathers who were not Confederates that were. I am a son of Confederate veterans, okay, so I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm not in the organization, but genetically speaking, and so, you know, the right was talking about this. And in my personal opinion, I mean, you know, a Confederate statue in a public space that where, you know, there's a lot of people of color, probably not a great idea. But put that statue in a museum, like, I don't think we should destroy stuff.
Because
we have to preserve the history.
You're trying to take the glorification out. That was the whole point.
Yeah, but I also don't feel that we should be shaming people. You know, like I'm not ashamed of the fact that I'm descended from Confederate veterans. My ancestors were poor people that were conscripted. I don't know their stories, but somehow they kind of walked in it.
Yeah, but we also don't need
to
ignore the impact of those affected.
Of course, yeah. No, of course, yeah. And it's like it's good that things happen in such a way to end chattel slavery. You know, of course, it was immediately replaced with the prison system and wage slavery. But
have you seen that movie called 13th?
No, about the 13th Amendment. Oh, I've heard of it.
Yes, yeah. Dude, that was really, really good.
Okay.
Really good.
I'll check it out.
So, okay.
Okay, so what next thing?
We were going to talk about mail-in voting, or do you want to go straight to the? Or do you want to go straight?
We're only at 35 minutes, so I think we need to do mail-in voting.
Okay, all right, let's do mail-in voting. All right, so wait, I got to pull up the little article thing. Threatening an executive order to end mail-in voting because Putin agrees, or says Putin agrees. He also said that no other country does mail-in voting. That's utter and complete total lie. 38 countries do mail-in voting, including Russia. Dementia. Can we just say dementia? So what do you think the purpose is trying to end mail-in voting?
Well, this is very interesting. My emphasis is on the gaslighting, because I remember back in 2020 when the conversation was about, yes, the Constitution specifically says that the state legislatures control elect how their state constituents participate in federal elections. And Trump himself was saying this back in 2020. All of his surrogates are saying this as well, and they were citing this, and I agree with this part, that these state secretaries of state type folks were making executive decisions without clearing them through the state legislature. They were changing the way in which voting was happening in their states unilaterally, and that was unconstitutional. I totally agree with that. This executive order is very obviously unconstitutional, and it's going to trigger a Supreme Court case. So we can think about this in a lot of ways. What's he trying to do? Is he really trying to manipulate elections? My opinion is that elections in this country have very clearly been manipulated on a consistent basis since 1988. And even back then, like even from the very beginning of this country, there have always been election cheating efforts. It's pretty well acknowledged that JFK sort of rigged his election as well through Philadelphia. Like that's sort of like just well acknowledged.
What the hell are you talking about? I've never heard that in my life.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, boomer. But was that that little thing, that middle finger thing? Was that? Oh, I thought we were family show. I thought we were family show. I thought we were family show though. But I'm glad he did. I like JFK. But it's like it's kind of like there have always been election rigging efforts in this country from the very beginning. There have always been accusations of election rigging from the very begining. And this is just part of democracy. I mean, people are going to try to cheat it.
I just had an epiphany.
Yeah.
Boomers are not conspiracy theorists.
No, there are definitely boomer conspiracy theorists. Yeah, there definitely are.
Anyway.
No, there's.
Random thought. Get it.
No, boomers are definitely conspiracy theorists. But there are definitely some boomer conspiracy theorists. But no, so I mean, this thing has been happening for a very long time. So yeah, is there this concept? You think he's trying to stay in office forever? I don't think that's realistic. I think he's pretending that he wants to stay in office forever.
The regime wants to stay in the office forever.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, both regimes do. All the regimes do, and I see it as all one regime. They're going to stay in office forever no matter what because they keep staying in office. You know, like no matter what.
See, now I think you're blurring the whole elitist versus the class war.
How can that be blurred?
because I'm talking about liberal versus conservative.
Well,
parties.
you're always talking that, and I'm always talking about you're always talking left, right,
I'm going left,
I'm
right.
always,
You're going up, down.
but that's who we are. I'm always talking bottom, up, down. You're always talking left,
But
right.
I agree there's an up, down.
And I agree
but-
there's a left, right. But at the elite level, I think they're working together, and I think they want us to fight each other.
Oh, and were you talking about this on here last week about the wrestling?
KAYFABE.
Was that you?
It's
yeah.
KAYFABE.
Was that you last week we were
Yes.
talking about? Okay, yeah.
It's
Because that
KAYFABE.
made sense.
It's KAYFABE.
Yeah.
Because no
why in the
matter
hell did all
what,
these Democrats vote for the shit they say they don't want now?
Correct.
Why did all this shit get passed?
AOC votes for every pro-Israel bill that comes across her desk. The chief of the leader of the squad votes for every pro-Israel bill that comes across her desk.
Well, I'm just thinking about that.
They will always
bill.
choose. They will always choose their class interest at the end of the day. They will always choose the people who line their pockets at the end of the day, and that's why
It's
you
always
got to
that.
get money out of politics. Period.
Yeah.
Like
Well, a lot of things. Hey, and this is something else that came up. Not only my love is cool little thing I started, but
Yes.
the money is God. That's just plain out truth now.
It's sick.
That's what God is now, is money.
It's sick.
And you know what made me
It's
think
sick.
of that was this ICE shit.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what they're paying them in bonuses and
Yeah.
forgiveness
Mhm.
of student?
Mhm.
And the way they're treating people is a
Mhm.
reciprocity of that.
Mhm.
What
Mhm.
the hell?
Mhm.
People sell their souls for money.
But it happened. But this is the way of the world, and this has been, what I've been paying attention to the whole time. And the thing about it is, with this, you don't have to
I don't think it's always
micromanage.
been like this.
You don't have to micromanage oppression. We are oppressing one another because we are paid to do it, and you don't have to micromanage it if you decide who can make the money and who cannot make the money, and if the money is all fiat and it's not actually based on any real assets anymore.
Explain fiat.
But our government is backed by the fact that our military dropped a nuclear bomb in the 1940s. Like our government, the supremacy of the U.S. dollar is because we are a very a maniacally murderous empire, and nobody wants to mess with us because they know that we will F them up. That's why the U.S. dollar has been the world's reserve currency, and it won't be that way much longer. But that is government. There's no material backing. It's not a petrodollar. It's not backed by precious metals or minerals or anything like that. Our dollar's backed by our government say so. Period. That's the only thing that's backing our money. So,
Let's look at the
are we
rate.
getting off track on the topic? What were we talking
No,
about?
I'm sorry, my acting distracted.
You
No, I
are,
was looking
you're
for
like reading
comments.
things. Oh, you're
No,
looking
I
for
was
comments.
looking for comments that flowed back from the little thing here.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
We might not have the
well-
bandwidth for that. Okay.
yeah. But, okay, so,
Yeah, the executive order.
wait a minute. Somehow I had to get off topic.
I do blame you. But we'll go back and review the
Alright.
footage because it could have
But-
been me too.
Well, no, either. So, but okay, we're talking about mail-in voting, why they want to do it, but the bottom line is it's
Uh-huh.
unconstitutional.
Well, my question is,
so
do
now
they want to do
we
this?
have pulled up the Constitution and read what it says about voting.
Yeah, the state legislatures have the power to just prescribe the times, places,
Not
and
executive
manner.
order.
Right, not executive order, and not state executives either. So that yes, this is a plenary power of state legislatures. It belongs to them and only to them.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody who deviates for that is breaking the Constitution. So let's say that some of my friends are right, and there's some sort of that this is like a big martial law thing, and that there may be something positive to this. This executive order will precipitate a Supreme Court decision, and if the Supreme Court has any fidelity to the Constitution whatsoever, they will decide correctly that this executive order is illegal. And maybe that's a good thing, and maybe that has implications that can protect election security in the future. But this could also be what you see it as, in my opinion. I don't think we have to see how it'll play out. So,
Well, could it be a feasible future version that red states, if it goes just to the legislature and not executive order,
mhm.
that red states could cancel mail-in voting and
Well,
blue
they've-
states don't?
They've already been sort of whittling it down, I mean, they've already been making those kind of moves since 2020. There've already been such legislation at the state level matriculating. I don't have all the fine details
I
of
was
that.
going to ask for examples.
Yeah, that's not my beat. I don't have all the fine details.
Well, I
of
know
that,
there's a
but
lot of voter suppression going on, the Voters' Right Act, all that's being...
Yes, always.
The gerrymandering. By
Always.
the way,
Yes.
I adore Gavin Newsom. Okay, just had to say that.
Oh, oh,
The memes. It's all about the memes.
Well, I do
but
appreciate a good meme.
It is clearly unconstitutional. It's not going to happen. This goes back to the whole taco idea. He says all this shit, but none of it ever happens, or very little.
It's flooding the zone. It's part of neo-fascist technique.
The whole Bannon thing.
Neo-fascist technique is meant to overwhelm people into having a hole in their head to not be able to really properly discern reality, to make people more comfortable.
Release the Epstein files.
Release the Epstein files. It's about time.
They were supposed to do it last Friday.
Yeah, and stop the genocide. I mean,
Well, I agree with you there. Stop that shit too.
Yeah, stop the genocide.
Yeah.
So I'm on that side. But yeah, this is. I mean, I don't know the purpose of this. Like, I'm not gonna even commit to a theory on this. But what I believe will happen, and if the Supreme Court does not uphold the Constitution, I mean, it's over.
But the Supreme Court to me is so infiltrated, perverted. There's a lot of words for it. I'm so disappointed in John Roberts, because he always kind of towed the line initially.
George W. Bush put him in office.
I think Ronald Reagan did, didn't he?
No, he's not nearly old enough for that. No, I watched his hearings. Yeah, it was George W. Bush.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because I was shocked that they put him as the leader. New.
Well, no, the Rehnquist retired or died. I can't remember. And then that's the spot that came open. That's how the Supreme Court works. The Chief Justice spot came open, and so he was nominated to that spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's been a while.
Yeah.
I remember the Anita Hill hearings for that nasty Clarence Thomas. Ugh.
Well, I take issue with the way that played out, because every single racist trope, majoring in Black Studies, remember, every single racist trope, the sleep and eat trope, the black brute, the black rapist, the black male rapist, all these tropes were applied to Clarence Thomas, and I just want to say that if the left should be better than that. The left should not use those same stereotypes and tropes just because in application to a black person who disagrees with them, And I don't think Clarence Thomas is stupid. I don't think you can listen to him expound upon legal theories and talk for extended periods of time and believe that he's stupid, but he's defamed as such.
He's corrupt.
I believe that, yes. But my problem is all these old school racist stereotypes get applied to him by leftist people, and I just think that that's not appropriate.
That was applied to the pudding guy.
Who's the pudding guy?
Bill Cosby.
Well, I agree with that. Yeah,
so
he was called an Uncle Tom. Yeah.
No, I'm just talking about rapist.
Well, he actually raped people.
Exactly.
It appears that he actually raped people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it appears that he actually raped people. I don't know. I wasn't there. I agree. You can call the truth, but no, I've heard some really racist stuff being said about Clarence Thomas in my life in leftist circles, and I just want to say, just because this guy disagrees with you doesn't give you a free pass to channel all.
I can agree with
and
that.
especially when I hear a white leftist say those things, it's like, oh, this is you giving yourself permission to reveal that you do have some unconscious bias. That you do have some...
No, I disagree. I would say I have...
Not you personally.
Because I have selective hearing. I hear the corruption. Yeah. I don't hear if there's... Because you're saying there's racist comments made about him.
Well, people were saying he falls asleep during hearings. That's the sleep and eat trope.
I don't know.
That's the sleep and eat trope. That's the lazy black male. I'm not aware of it. I mean, this has been going on for 2 decades, for multiple decades. But but everything the old Zip Coon trope was applied to him, where this concept of someone who's ignorant but uses words they don't understand when they're talking. He was accused of letting his clerks write all of his own opinions for them. Well, this is old school, 1950s, think minstrelsy, all these tropes.
Supposedly this boomer, shouldn't I know this?
Weren't you alive back then? Were you taking notes?
In the 50s, no.
Were you taking notes? Did you? I mean,
pubic hair. I remember the pubic hair on the Coke can.
Did you guys use papyrus and inkwells back then?
No, we used spittle. Do you remember the pubic hair in the Coke can with Clarence Thomas?
No, I don't. There was a pubic hair.
That was one of the things that Anita Hill said.
And Anita Hill. Well, I was 7.
So let's move on to local now.
I agree. Let's move on to local.
All right.
I didn't watch those live.
Bullshit executive orders, but trying to... the thing is, Republicans do mail-in votes too, so they would screw them up.
Yes, of course.
And if Democrats get fired up enough, they'll walk their little asses and go vote any which way they can.
Of course.
But like you said, the integrity of them all. Who knows? All right. All right, I gotta pull up this other Facebook page. Oh, God,
I do
did
think
I accidentally close it?
I do think in-person voting is more secure in general. I think that's a
closed it.
truism. So, all right. So
I gotta pull it back up again. So
Oh,
yammer for a minute.
Okay, so I'm just going to segue into the topic while you find the
Go ahead.
receipts. Now, my journalist instinct feels to say that this is accusations until we get more sides of the story, because this is not a story that has been covered by local journalism. Not that we would expect it would.
We couldn't find it. Someone, I thought I read somewhere somebody did or something.
Maybe somebody did. Well, yeah, we couldn't find it, so we should keep looking for it. But it's being called like our own local Rosa Parks narrative. And okay,
Right.
you go ahead and read
So
what you want to read.
Here's the post. This is a Facebook post made by Tam. She says, a town government, and we're talking about Halifax County for anybody who's not in Halifax County. Oh, by the way, we had a watcher from North Virginia.
Northern Virginia.
Yeah, she said that she was more interested in state and federal because obviously local doesn't apply to her.
Well, I'm
So
telling you, the
that
money.
was interesting.
Yeah, well, that's a check in my column. I think we should start big picture and then in local, because I think that you want to.
Yeah, but we
front
skipped
load.
state this time.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's not always something to say about state. Well, I mean,
True.
well,
And we,
but I mean, it is what it is.
so little time, so
yeah,
much to do.
so little time.
All right, so let me start with this post. Started with the town governments that's in shambles, and a local business pulling a Rosa Parks give up your seat and calling the cops when it didn't work, and allegedly grown menfolk pulling back in my day we would have kept quiet and allowed ourselves to be assaulted by adult teachers.
Oof.
Argument out of their asses when a local teacher is caught preying on children.
Oof.
And I mean P-R-E-Y, not P-R-A-Y. And townspeople whining and complaining about every new business that comes to town, friends and family groups fraying at the edges.
Ooh.
But the town folks are the sort to claim that small towns know how to run governments better. Bathtubs and all that jazz. And the townsfolk have been claiming that discrimination no longer exists.
Ooh. And this county. Ooh.
And men folks have been claiming to be so very worried about what the Hollywood, society, other woke boogeyman were doing to the children. And the town folks have been whining and complaining about never having any new businesses come to town. And the townspeople cheering for alligators to eat other people are wondering why their friends and families don't want to have anything to do with them anymore. Halifax, y'all are on some serious bullshit for real. And y'all wonder why the kids will break their necks, both legs, and wrists getting the hell out of here and will not look back.
Yeah.
So, a lot of this post I didn't understand, but I went to the
Yes.
comments because we are honing in on the Rosa Parks comment.
Yes.
So what's your first initial reaction to this post while I find it?
Well, I have to say I want to know more. I mean, this is one person claiming. So is this woman claiming that this was her experience?
No.
So this was someone else's experience, and this woman is making a post on behalf of this other person.
Correct.
So we're not even hearing from the primary source,
Right.
So my journalistic impulse is saying I need to hear from the primary source, I need to hear from the YMCA, and I need to hear from the police. What actually happened? It's important not to get caught up in a conflagration that's not based on fact. It's important because you make yourself look dumb,
Right.
and you waste a lot of energy. You waste a lot of emotional energy. But in general, the concept, what I want to say is that when I first started spending time in Halifax County circa 2013, when my mom moved down here, and when I will never forget the day one day when I went to the Food Lion in Riverdale, and I went into moving toward the produce section, and 3 elderly black people who were not together, they were all shopping separately, all stepped out of my way as I walked into the produce section. And I was absolutely shocked because, I majored in black studies, so I talked about old school Southern racial etiquette in classes before.
You were born and raised in Danville.
Born and raised in Danville, Pennsylvania County. And in Danville, it's quite the opposite. In Danville, if a black folks hear someone like me, like a fast-walking white person coming up behind them, they start walking slower on purpose, just to make the point that they can. And good on them. That's not something that has ever bothered me. But when I saw these older black people, elderly people, who were shopping step out of my way, and being a white guy in my mid-20s at that point, it was just I was shocked at first. I literally stopped. Like I literally stopped and just looked at the behavior, and then I was very sad because my first thought to that was, what have these folks gone? What have the Caucasians in this county been putting these folks through their entire lives to where they don't even think about it? It's just an automatic behavior to step out of my way. Now, in the 2020s, that's not happened to me. I'm thinking that old school generation, maybe they either all died out or they've lost mobility and can't shop for themselves anymore. The people who were kind of like trained by that. But that's when I realized that Halifax County is 40 to 50 years behind in terms of race relations. And so this is a believable story, even if it isn't true. And we can talk about the implications of it as a narrative, before we go do the fact finding. This is a believable story, and that in and of itself says a lot about Halifax County. And I actually just had a conversation with two black colleagues today talking about ham hocks. And then we were talking, and the conversation went, and my coworker said, back in our day when we were young, your people would get this cut and this cut, and my people would get, this cut and this cut, like the snouts and all that stuff. And that actually was a real thing if you go back far enough. I mean, there were, if you go back to slavery, that's how it worked. Like there were, people got the organ meat, the slaves and the black folks got the organ meat and the leftover stuff that white folks didn't want. And that's a real thing, and a lot of it's based by cost. Like you make the good things cost prohibitive for people that that you're economically oppressing. And so that was, and I actually said, I turned to her and I said, on behalf of I wasn't there, but on behalf of those white people, I apologize. And she said, I've never heard anyone say that before. She said that to me. But this Halifax County is way more segregated than Danville. And Danville's not perfect. I'm not pretending it is. Danville's filthy, actually. But this old school Southern racism thing, where people are divided, where people really, don't seem to want to have anything to do with each other. And my friend Jean says that it's coming from both angles. She says that there's a lot of anti-white racism in the local black community too. But there's power asymmetry. Maybe if I were in an older generation of black people and I lived here my whole life, I would probably maybe feel differently about white people than I currently do too. But it's kind of like, I don't get it, and I'm glad if this is a real thing, and I'm going to give Tam the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to assume this is real for now until I can do a fact check. If this is going on, there must be a public reckoning about this. There must be, why would the police enforce this? This elderly black woman obviously has equal right to that seat as compared to the elderly white woman, and plus, aren't there extra seats?
You're getting too far ahead of the story here. We hadn't even read this part yet.
Okay, well, you go.
Well, no, I want to interject here.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about what you were raised on, what you said about you apologize to somebody for other white people's behavior.
Yeah.
This is what the racists lose their minds over. This is what's happening, what we're talking about even at the national level.
Yeah.
It's that there's words for it, but whatever.
Yeah.
Where I grew up in Georgia, I grew up in the 1970s, and it was still segregated. So I saw that firsthand. I remember asking my father, "Why does the doctor have two doors?" He said the other one's for the N-word.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's what I grew up with.
Oh.
And that was quite a long, hard, painful journey for me that I still deal with. But anyway, let's read what you said, because somebody asked in here. Well, I mean, they were asking about other parts of her post, but this is what we're focusing on. This lady named Natasha asked what this was all about, what happened, and here we go. Well, she was like, what was the situation that happened that was Rosa Parks like, and cops were called in the year of our Lord 2025? Because she's like, I can't believe this would happen. A lot of astonishment is what I'm reading in here.
Yes.
And the response from Tam was, an older black lady was at the YMCA. The YMCA is right here on Hamilton Boulevard, around from my house. Wait, we don't want people to know where I live. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But it's not far from here. I used to regularly go there. I was a member. I've been a member on and off for 20 years. I even applied for the executive director job and had to go up to Hampton Roads, who bought it. Anyway, that's a whole other story. So this YMCA here in South Boston was having an exercise class, and an older black lady was asked to give up her seat, which was not reserved, by the way, for another older white lady. When she refused to do it, when she refused because, hello, her seat wasn't reserved or anything, the cops were called on her and she was made to leave and escorted out by the cops and the whole deal. I can't believe this.
It is, like I said, and that's my journalistic impulse, because we don't want to impugn people if this did not actually occur. I would like to know, we're not even hearing from the actual woman herself that this happened to.
Okay.
But this is, like I said before, this is believable.
The responses were what the actual F, someone else said, the causacity?
The caucasity, the Caucasian audacity.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yes,
I've
boomer,
never seen
yes.
that. Suck it!
She just came out of the closet as a boomer to me. She just came out of the closet as a boomer to me tonight. I assumed she was Gen X because her personality is very Gen X. But she came out of the closet to me tonight, so I'm really enjoying calling her a boomer.
So she said the caucasity. What? Everything about this, being asked to give up her seat in the first place, cops being called for such, cops came and escorted her out from the Y. I'm hot just hearing about all that secondhand and after the fact. The next response,
it's sick.
I'm right here and just heard about it last night. I tend to stay to myself because of the way my mouth and attitude are set up. Good for you.
Teach me that, honey.
Response, this was in Halifax. I actually saw the video already, but didn't see where it happened. Video? Maybe that's
Oh, there's a video.
There's
now,
a video
that
of
would
this?
that changes everything.
And Tam said, yep. And then someone said, what? I had not heard about this yet. I have no words. Okay, I missed the video part. There's a video. All right. What we want to do is we called the Y because nowhere on their website does it say
after they closed.
Yeah,
they didn't answer.
They had closed, so that was our bad.
At 8:02 and they closed at 8.
But nowhere on the website does it say who the executive director is. We want to talk to the executive director
of the local Y.
We want to talk to the local police and find out that is, and we'd like to talk to the lady this happened to. And I did that. I did that in the absolute reverse order. We want to talk to the lady first.
Absolutely.
Then the Y, then the cops, and I suspect we'll either get ignored, refused.
I don't. No. Let's not.
No,
manifest that.
I'm not necessarily talking about
Let's
her.
not manifest that.
You think the police are going to come here and do a podcast with us for this shit?
If this thing gets enough views, I think they'll have to. So y'all get this to 2,500 views, and then they will feel the pressure to come talk.
And we need to contact the Y in Southampton.
So share this. Share this
as well.
Yes, of course. Yeah, and I think they'll talk to us. And chances are, Hampton is very black per capita. These might be black folks that we're talking to in Hampton. So it might be a different ballgame there.
The executive director is
black, right? Because we looked it up.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
That's who we need to contact. Because this pissed me off so bad when I read it.
Yes.
All right, let me be more professional. I was so terribly angered. No, I was pissed off.
I was pissed off. Yeah. But then I had that journalistic impulse. I was like, well, we're really not getting it from the horse's mouth. But if now that I know this video, I'd love to see the video, but we shouldn't look for it now because it would mess up the audio.
Well, just please, everybody involved in this, respond to us.
Yeah,
Send me an anonymous email.
video. Post the video in the comments so other people can see it.
Exactly. Or give me the video and you don't want your name attached to it, I'll post it.
And like I said, if we as people who sort of identify with this economic justice, social justice vein, want to see real results, we have to have a platform where we can actually tell the truth in this county. We don't desire to be the only such platform.
Yes.
But we're raising our hands.
Or participants.
We raise our hands to step into the light, and if we're the ones leading this charge, then so be it. To like have real conversations in this area. So since we're the only ones doing it, share this with people so that we can apply that pressure, so that the police will feel like they have to talk to us or have to make an account. Even if they won't talk to us, maybe they'll feel like they have to make a public statement.
And I'll be making phone calls tomorrow, trust me. But I'd really love for everyone to engage because that's part of our mission and goal here.
As someone who used to work at the Gazette, I'm assuming this is South Boston Police because they're right next door to the Y.
Yeah.
But as someone who used to work at the Gazette, I promise you, the Gazette will protect the police over anyone else. They will, because they've done it before. They did it. That's why I left. That's why I left the Gazette. And so
we want to break this.
Right. So that's not, what they're going to try to do is they're going to go through the outlets that they know will protect them. I'm not vicious. I'm not going to be. I meant everything I said at the top of the show. Okay. I want to build bridges, even to cops. Like all of it. I have family who are cops. But I want to build bridges, so I'm not going to. It's not going to be attack mode. We want to know what happened, and we want to hear your story. But we're also not. I'm not the type anybody can tell you. I'm not the type that's just going to take your bullshit. If I know you're lying, I'm going to call it out.
But if it all is true, and which I firmly believe it is, of course. But if we get all these, or if they try to whitewash it or whatever, would you be willing to stand in the parking lot and protest at the Y? If it came to that?
Yes, of course, I would, but
Okay.
but I think that is the why the right target, you know. But yes, yeah, I would be willing to do that.
That's a good point, but
Yeah.
they allowed it to happen.
Well, apparently, did they make the call? Who made the call? I mean, there's so many things we don't know. Who actually
Right.
who
We need
actually
more
called
information,
who
too.
actually called the cops? Who
Yeah.
actually allegedly called the cops?
Because
Like,
I would lead that march.
right, because would we even need to protest, or could we just say if it was, let's say it was a YMCA employee who did it, you know, like if it was a YMCA employee who did it, it's fair to ask for that person to be fired, in my opinion. And then, but we may not need to protest to get that done. If the executive director of the greater family of Y, you know, the greater
Hampton.
yeah, the Hampton Roads Greater Y, you know, nonprofit industrial network, is black, he may be inclined to do this anyway, you know. So you know, so yeah, if it escalates to that point, yeah, if we have to do that, then we have to do that, you know.
Get an apology, give her a free lifetime membership.
But let's give people the chance to show us that they can learn, and let's give people a chance to show us that they can do the right thing. I mean, I think that's where we should always start. And then when people show us that they're not going to do the right thing, we escalate, you know, and we escalate incrementally.
I'm the escalator.
Hmm?
You're the let's do the right thing first.
No, I know, girl, I can escalate, honey. Girl, I can escalate. Girl, I can get hype. I can get all the way hype, okay? But I've been doing this for 23 years. And so through my successes and failures...
How old are you?
40.
23 years? That's 17?
I've been an activist since I was 17.
Oh, activist. I thought you meant journalist. Okay.
I've been a journalist since I was 19.
Right.
That's when I got my first journalist
I
job
only did
anyway.
it for 3 years. I used to be the editor
Yeah.
of a newspaper back in Georgia.
Yeah, I've done it off and on. I'm a jack of many trades.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're over an hour. So do we have any more
Yeah.
thoughts on the
It's
local
time to
Rosa
wrap.
Parks?
No,
Okay.
no. I think we'll need to leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll meet again next week.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll have some more of our goals accomplished by then.
Yeah, maybe we'll be
not,
streaming
because-
by then. Maybe we'll have a Patreon where you can give us coins by then.
But both of us have very full, busy lives.
Yes.
So this is a pleasure.
Yes.
But we also cannot get chained.
Of course. Yes,
Yeah,
of course.
so-
What does that mean? Chained to what? The schedule. The Wednesday
Feeling
schedule.
that we need to do this every night or more often, or like
Well,
if
we should do
something
it once
comes
a week.
up and we can't do it next Wednesday, well, we'll change it to Thursday or something.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I mean, I we need to be loose until we're more structured
Loosey
because we've got a
goosey.
lot going on right
Well,
now.
welcome to the internet, honey. That's how that works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the millennial way. Let us show you our ways.
And you know what I like?
Yeah.
I like the idea of having something pre-recorded and in the camera.
Yeah,
just
and then
in
you can
case we
you can
can't
live
do it.
they can live feed the pre-recorded. You know,
Right,
so
right,
so
right.
we can do it if we need to move to Tuesday, we can.
Well, or just if we can't do it one week, we've got something to throw out there.
Oh yeah, or even clips, you know.
Yeah, greatest hits.
Yeah, bloopers. we're very bloopery.
Oh, we're live.
We're
How can
very-
you be bloopery if you're live?
Huh? No, I'm just saying we're very bloopery people. Like,
Yeah, okay.
well, we're barely speaking right. We're barely speaking English right now. Let's be real.
Time to say goodnight, Gracie.
We both need naps. So we love you
All
guys.
right,
We
yeah.
love all of you.
Thanks for the feedback.
And
Thanks
we're
for the
just here.
views and support, encouragement.
This is our community service, and thanks
Yes.
for participating.
All right, now end. There it is. End.